Smart AgriBus presents a training program focused on profitable groundnut production. This training will cover essential aspects of growing groundnuts efficiently to maximize profits. Participants will learn about soil fertility, disease management, and other factors that can impact the success of groundnut farming. Join us to improve your knowledge and skills in groundnut production for a more profitable agricultural venture. Groundnut is a plant with edible seeds. It is also known as peanuts. It is grown all around the world and is a major source of oil and protein. It is rich in vitamins and minerals, which can help balance other foods like rice and sorghum. China, India, and Nigeria are the top 3 countries in groundnut production. Groundnuts are always in demand, and farmers can increase their production without worrying about finding buyers. It is an important crop for farmers and can create job opportunities. Groundnuts have many uses in cooking and industry. Benefits of growing groundnuts include improving soil fertility and increasing productivity of other crops when grown in rotation. However, there are challenges to growing groundnuts, such as drought and diseases like rust and leaf spots, which can decrease production. Constraint of planting groundnut. The main problems faced when trying to grow groundnuts are lack of water and the spread of diseases like rust, leaf spots, and groundnut rosette disease. These issues have caused a decrease in groundnut production, market, and profit. How much money farmers make from growing groundnuts can be affected by their knowledge, skills, how they manage their farm, and their ability to control diseases and pests. Factors like rainfall and temperature also play a role. Using the right seeds and practices can lead to higher profits. There is a big market for selling groundnut grain and fodder in Nigeria. Site selection. Farmers should plant their groundnuts when the soil has enough moisture for the seeds to grow well. This is usually by the end of June in certain regions of Nigeria. Groundnuts grow best in soils that drain well, like sandy or loamy soils with a pH of 6.5 to 7.0. It's important to avoid planting groundnuts in the same field for more than 2 years to prevent diseases and pests. Rotating with cereals can help reduce costs. Creating ridges in the field is recommended for higher yields, better drainage, and easier maintenance. Land preparation. Before planting groundnuts, clear the field and remove weeds using herbicides. Plow and harrow the land deeply to help seeds germinate and grow well. Create ridges in the field for better drainage and higher yields. Conventional tillage is recommended for better results. Although groundnuts can be planted on flat land, using ridges can lead to higher yields, better drainage, and easier maintenance.
Seed dressing. Treat groundnut seeds with fungicides to prevent rot and fungal diseases. Insects can harm seedlings. Treat seeds to prevent this. Seed treatment can also reduce infections and promote healthy growth. Use Thiram or Mancozeb to coat seeds before planting. Seed treatment helps ensure a good plant stand and yield. Be careful with chemicals and follow instructions. Seed rate and spacing. Use high-quality seeds from trusted sources like research institutes or seed companies. The amount of seeds to plant depends on factors like the variety, seed size, planting distance, and germination rate. For groundnuts, the recommended seed rate is 60 to 70 kilograms per hectare. Plant the seeds at a depth of 5 centimeters. Different varieties have different spacing recommendations, such as 75 centimeters by 20 centimeters or 50 centimeters by 20 centimeters.
Varietal selection. When choosing what type of groundnut to plant, pick the ones that can survive well in the area based on how much rain it gets and for how long. Also, choose varieties that can resist any pests or other factors that may harm the plants, based on what has happened in the past. Soil fertility enhancement. To make sure the soil is good for growing groundnuts, add fertilizer before planting, when planting, or shortly after. Also, put organic manure in the soil to help the groundnuts grow better. If the soil's pH level is not right, add lime to balance it out. During a specific stage of growth, add gypsum to improve the seed and all quality.
Fertilizer application. This is a given guidelines on how to apply fertilizer for growing groundnuts. It suggests conducting a soil test to determine what type of fertilizer or lime is needed. Phosphorus and potash are important for good yields. It recommends applying 100 kilograms of SSP fertilizer per hectare, as well as muriate of potash if available. If following a well-fertilized cereal crop, 2 bags of SSP per hectare may be enough. Additionally, it suggests applying 1 bag of NPK 15 hours 15 minutes and 15 seconds per hectare.
Use tools or chemicals to control weeds, especially in the first 6 weeks after planting. Keep the field free of weeds throughout the growing season. Use herbicides and manual weeding to control weeds effectively. It's important to be careful near the plants once they start growing and remove any tall weeds by hand at that stage. Seed selection. When choosing seeds and removing unwanted plants, groundnut does not need to be kept far apart because it pollinates itself. It is recommended to keep a distance of 5 to 10 meters between different varieties to prevent them from mixing together. Regularly checking the field allows for the removal of plants that are not the right type, diseased plants, and plants that have grown on their own based on the characteristics of the variety. Harvesting. When harvesting groundnuts, it is important to do it quickly in areas where rain stops early to prevent the soil from getting too hard. You can tell when it's the best time to harvest by checking the inside of the shells and the seed coat of the groundnuts. It is best to harvest when 70 to 80% of the pods are fully grown, round, and the right color. You can harvest by hand picking the plant, using a hoe, or a plow pulled by an animal. Using an animal to plow can help lift the entire crop with less pod loss. After harvesting, shake the plants to get rid of any soil and leave them upside down with the pods facing up for a few days. Groundnut plants keep growing and producing pods, so it's best to harvest when most of the pods are ready. The best time to harvest can vary depending on the variety of groundnut. Harvesting the early can result in high moisture in the pods and lower quality seeds. Harvesting the late can damage the seeds, lead to infections, and decrease the quality of the pods. Late harvesting can cause the pods to deteriorate, be damaged, and increase the number of pathogens in the seeds. Here is a question for you. In your opinion, do you believe that Nigeria has the potential to surpass China and India in groundnut production? Please share your thoughts on this topic and provide reasoning in the comments section.